What would you do if a cop held out his hand and said, "Can I see your phone right now?" If you unlock it for even a few seconds, you could hand over your texts, photos, passwords, and private life in one move. One nervous yes can open a door you may never close again. Hit subscribe right now because what I'm about to show you could protect your phone, your freedom, and your future. Like this video now so you can find it fast the day this happens to you for real. Here's what you need to know before panic takes over. Your phone is not just a phone. It's your messages, your search history, your banking apps, your notes, your family photos, your location history, and sometimes your entire job. That means one bad choice during a stop can expose things that have nothing to do with why you were stopped in the first place. Let me show you exactly how to respond, what words to use, when to stop talking, and how to avoid giving away consent by accident. You're also going to hear the court cases that back this up in plain English, not lawyer talk. Here's the reality. Most people think police need to snatch the phone and crack it open by force. A lot of the time, they don't. They just ask, and you give it away for them. Now let's talk about why this is so dangerous for you. When an officer asks to see your phone, it usually sounds casual. They say stuff like, "Can you unlock that for me?" Or "Let me just check one thing." That tone is the trap. Most people have no idea that the biggest risk is not force, it's consent. You feel pressure, you want to look cooperative, you think saying yes will make the stop end faster. But your unlocked phone can lead to names, chats, photos, old searches, app logs, and stuff you forgot was even there. Even if you did nothing wrong, your phone can still create problems for you. A joke text looks bad, a screenshot looks weird, a contact name sounds suspicious, and once you volunteer access, you make your own fight much harder later. The first thing you do is refuse the search clearly and calmly, not rude, not angry, not smart mouth, clear, simple, direct. Here's exactly what you say. "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Word for word, memorize that line, then stop talking. That one sentence matters because consent changes everything. If you say yes, nod yes, hand over the phone, or unlock it for them, you just made their job easier. You gave them permission. Here's the trick they don't want you knowing. Police often ask because asking is easier than getting a judge's approval first. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it makes the record clear you did not agree. You did not invite the search. You did not help them turn a request into permission. Bad way. Most drivers say, "Sure, I've got nothing to hide." Then the officer starts scrolling, finds something unrelated, and your simple stop turns into a deeper investigation. Good way. Smart drivers say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Then your position is clear, your rights stay intact, and your lawyer has something solid to work with later. Watch what happens when you say it the wrong way. You think you're being nice. The officer sees an open screen. Then maybe it's your recent calls. Then your photos. Then a message pops up from someone you didn't expect. Now the stop is no longer just about the broken taillight or the rolling stop sign. Now it's about whatever story they think your phone is telling. Your phone never explains itself. It only shows pieces. Watch what happens when you say it the right way. The officer may not like it. The mood may change, but that is not the same as losing. Calm refusal is often your best protection. This is 100% legal. You are allowed to refuse consent to a search. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection because it forces the next step to be on them, not on you. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. In Riley v. California, the court said police generally need a warrant before searching digital information on a phone. In plain English, that means your phone is different from your wallet or your pockets. A phone holds a giant map of your life. The court even said comparing a phone search to checking a small physical item is like comparing a horse ride to a trip to the moon. That's how seriously they treated phone privacy. And in Schneckloth v. Bustamante, the court made something else very clear. If you consent to a search, that consent can make the search legal. So your first job is simple. Don't give consent away for free. Have you ever felt pressured to just cooperate during a stop? Tell me in the comments, because that pressure is exactly how people give up rights without realizing it. The second move is to find out if you are actually being kept there. You look at the officer and say this: "Am I being detained or am I free to leave?" Those exact words. Keep your voice calm, keep your hands still, ask it once, then listen. Why does that question matter for you? Because officers sometimes keep a stop going by turning a finished traffic stop into a fishing trip. They already checked your license, they already ran your name, they already decided about the warning or ticket, but then comes the side trip. Where are you headed? Who are you texting? Mind if I take a look at your phone? That is where a lot of people get trapped. They think the stop is still normal. It may not be. When you ask if you're detained or free to leave, you force the moment to become clear. Either they have a legal reason to keep you there, or they don't. If they say you're free to leave, leave calmly. If they say you're detained, you now know this is not casual talk anymore. It's serious, and every extra word matters. Bad way. Most drivers say, I guess I can stay. Or, I mean, what do you want to know? Then the stop drags on, the questions multiply, and your phone becomes the next target. Good way? Smart drivers say, am I being detained or am I free to leave? Then the officer has to define the stop, and you stop volunteering extra time and extra risk. Rodriguez v. United States backs this up. Former police officers have confirmed this works because it shifts the encounter from fuzzy to clear. In plain English, that case says police can't stretch out a traffic stop longer than needed just to investigate something else unless they have real facts to justify it. That matters for your phone because every extra minute gives them more chances to ask, pressure, and push. This is 100% legal. You are not being disrespectful. You are asking a clean question about your status. A lot of people get this wrong because they think silence makes them look guilty. No, rambling makes you vulnerable. When you keep talking, you give away little puzzle pieces. Maybe you say the phone is dead, then it lights up. Maybe you say you were not texting, but a notification appears. Maybe you say it's a work phone, and now they want to know where the work data is. Your words can create new doors where there were none before. So ask the question. Short, calm, once. If you are free to leave, leave. If you are not free to leave, move to the next tactic and protect yourself even harder. The third move is where people save themselves or sink themselves. If the officer keeps pressing, you stop answering questions and ask for a lawyer. Here's exactly what you say. I want to remain silent and I want a lawyer. Short, clean, no speech after that, no explaining, no arguing, no trying to win the debate. Listen closely because this is critical. You do not have to talk your way out of a police encounter. You usually talk your way deeper into one. Once they want your phone, every answer you give can be used to build a reason for more questions. Who owns the phone? Is that your passcode? Why did you close that app? Who were you messaging? Why did you look nervous? You cannot out-chat that situation. Your mouth becomes evidence. Bad way. Most drivers say, why do you need my phone? I was only checking maps. I can show you. It's no big deal. Then the officer keeps you talking, uses your words against you, and the pressure gets worse. Good way. Smart drivers say, I want to remain silent, and I want a lawyer. Then the talking stops, the guessing stops, and you stop helping the case grow against you. Miranda versus Arizona is the famous case here. You've heard the warning on TV for years, but the real lesson for you is simple. Your right to stay silent helps only if you actually use it. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it is direct and hard to twist. If you mumble, maybe I need a lawyer, that can create fights later. If you say, I want a lawyer, that is much stronger. And if you keep talking after that, you undercut your own protection. Here's the reality. Silence feels awkward for you because you are trained to answer authority. But awkward is not dangerous. Giving away information is dangerous. If the officer says, if you've got nothing to hide, just unlock it, do not take that bait. Innocent people still need privacy. Your phone can contain private facts about your kids, your partner, your health, your money, and your job. None of that becomes public property because an officer asked with a calm voice. Also remember this, asking for a lawyer is not an admission of guilt, it is a safety step. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection once the stop turns from ticket talk into evidence talk. Your job is not to convince the officer in the moment. Your job is to avoid making a permanent mistake in a temporary encounter. Most viewers already clicked away. If you're still here, you're serious about protecting yourself. Drop a comment saying I'm still here because the next part is where people lose everything without even realizing it. The fourth move is about the phone itself. Do not unlock it. Do not enter your passcode. Do not use your face or fingerprint to open it for them. If the phone is already in your hand, lock it and put it away if you can do that safely before anything escalates. Better yet, keep your phone locked whenever you drive. Let me show you exactly why that matters. A locked phone gives you more protection than an open one. An unlocked phone is an invitation to pressure. An open screen is a chance for them to see names, notifications, pictures, and apps before any legal fight even begins. And there is another problem you need to know. Passwords and biometrics are not always treated the same in court. Some courts have given stronger protection to what you know, like a passcode, than to what you are, like your face or fingerprint. That means your safest habit is simple. Use a strong passcode. Keep biometrics off if you are worried about forced unlocking. At the very least, know how to disable them fast on your device. Bad way. Most drivers say, I'll unlock it just to prove that text was from my cousin. Then the officer sees more than that one text, notices something else, and your own phone becomes the center of the stop. Good way. Smart drivers say, I do not consent to a search and I will not unlock my phone. Then the officer has to make the next legal move without your help. This part scares people because they think refusing to unlock makes them look guilty. That fear is exactly why officers ask. Your fear fills the gap where a warrant should be. But Riley says phones are different. United States v. Wurie helped make that point too. These cases say digital data is so private, so deep, and so revealing that police usually need a judge's approval first. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. So do not do their work for them, and do not delete things either. Do not throw the phone. Do not hide it. Just do not unlock it, and do not consent. If your proof of insurance is on your phone, be smart before you ever get stopped. Have a paper copy if your state allows it. If you must use your phone for insurance, keep that app ready before you drive, and do not hand the entire unlocked phone over if you can avoid it. The safer habit is planning ahead so your legal proof does not become a free tour of your private life. Now let's tie the legal side together in plain English. Riley v. California says police generally need a warrant before searching the digital contents of your phone. That means a judge usually has to sign off first. United States v. Wurie came with Riley and helped prove the same idea in another case. Phones are not tiny containers. They are giant storage vaults. Schneckloth v. Bustamante says if you consent to a search, that consent can make the search legal even if police never told you that you could refuse. That is why your no has to be clear. Rodriguez v. United States says a traffic stop cannot be stretched longer than needed just so officers can go hunting for unrelated evidence without real reason. And Miranda v. Arizona says when police questioning turns serious, your right to stay silent and ask for a lawyer matters only if you actually say the words. So the pattern should be obvious for you now. Do not consent. Ask if you are free to leave. If not, go silent and ask for counsel. Keep the phone locked. Now picture this with me. You get pulled over at night for speeding. Your heart is pounding. The officer takes your license and comes back after a few minutes. Then he says, "You seem nervous. Mind if I see your phone for a second?" Wrong way first. You laugh because you want to seem relaxed. You say, "Sure, I was just texting my brother." You unlock the screen. The officer takes the phone. A message pops up from somebody with a strange nickname. He asks who that is. You answer. Then he opens your photos. Then he asks about a picture from last weekend. The stop gets longer. More officers show up. Now you are explaining your life one screenshot at a time. Even if nothing illegal is there, your stress rises, your words get sloppy, and the whole thing spirals. Now the right way. The officer says, "Mind if I see your phone?" You stay calm. You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." He presses again. You ask, "Am I being detained or am I free to leave?" If he says you are free to go, you leave. If he says you are being detained, you stop there and say, "I want to remain silent and I want a lawyer." Your phone stays locked. You do not explain. You do not argue. You do not try to educate him on the roadside. You just protect yourself. That second version feels less friendly, but it is far safer for you. Your goal is not to win the officer's approval. Your goal is to avoid giving away rights you can never get back. Calm beats clever. Short beats long. Locked beats open. Coming next week, I'm breaking down what to do when police ask for your passcode or try to use Face ID against you. Subscribe right now so you don't miss it, because that is where a lot of people panic and make the one mistake that exposes their whole life. So burn these points into your mind. First, never consent to a phone search and say it out loud. Second, ask if you are being detained or free to leave so the stop stays clear. Third, if the pressure keeps building, stay silent and ask for a lawyer. Fourth, keep your phone locked and never unlock it for them just because they asked. You do not need to be rude. You do not need to be a legal expert. You just need the right words at the right time. Hit subscribe so you catch that next video on passcodes and biometric unlocks. Smash the like button if this just saved your phone from becoming evidence against you, and drop a comment telling me which line you're going to remember first. Stay safe out there.